From Fancy to Richmond, Beckway to Union Island, and everywhere in between, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has so much to offer. Lovely beaches, exquisite cuisine, friendly people, and so much more. Follow me as I take you on a journey to discover my Vincy. I am Crystal Bino Graves, and this is WeFM's Top 5. In this episode, we count down St. Vincent and the Grenadines' top 5 cake bakers. We will have a chance to find out how and why they started, some of their favorite recipes, and hopefully eat some cake. Let's go. Our first cake baker is Makisha Cozier, owner of Incrinage Delicacies. Makisha is known for her sweet treats and varieties of flavors, including vanilla, chocolate, carrot, and she also does great cheesecakes. If you are looking for wedding cakes, birthday cakes, or cakes for any occasion, she can be contacted at 493-0352 or check her out on Facebook at Incrinage Delicacies. Here is some of her work.
Hi, my name is Risha John of Bumblebee Delights.
Our next stop is Shaftesdale, where we will check out our next cake baker, Risha John, owner of Bumblebee Delights. We got a chance to see Risha whip up a batch of black cake batter while chatting with her about her passion for cake. And the best part is, we got to eat some cake. So we're here with Risha John of Bumblebee Delights, and she's in the process of making, what are you making?
Black cakes.
Black cakes for?
Weddings. I have 3 weddings on Saturday.
3 on Saturday?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so she's making a big batch of black cakes. So Risha, how long have you been baking? How long have you been in the business of cake making and catering? Because I believe you do catering as well.
Yes. Well, to be honest, I started baking when I was about 19. And it was because my mom usually do catering as well. And she got me into it and I was interested. And it actually happened by accident, my very first cake. Because she wasn't at home and she forgot something. And she asked me if I could try it out. And it came out pretty well. So I continued from there. I did it in school and I started selling in school and everything, and people liked it. And it became a passion, and I went away and studied culinary arts.
Okay, so you went away and you studied?
Yes.
Okay. Where exactly?
Barbados Community College Hospitality Institute.
Okay. What is your favorite part about cake baking?
Well, the thing is, I don't just do cake baking. I do catering on a whole, because it's not just, like I said, cakes, it's pastries, I do food and everything. But my favorite part is cakes. I think it's very artistic, which I think a lot of people know, but it's just something that I enjoy doing. I like to see people happy, and there's something about a pretty cake that makes somebody happy. My favorite customers are children. They're very honest with you, and you get to make the cakes as pretty as you possibly can. Because you know, with adults, you might do it too pretty and they might think this looks too childish. But I think that's my favorite part.
Baking cakes.
Baking cakes.
So what types of cakes do you normally bake?
Any kind of cakes. Plain, chocolate, marble, rainbow, red velvet, fruit. I have a variety, coconut, strawberry swirl. You can mix flavors, because some people actually like to do like red velvet and chocolate half and half.
Okay.
So you can do anything, you can mix it. And I cater for any occasion.
Okay.
Yes, not just the cakes, but if you're having a birthday party and you want to have like sandwiches, mini pizzas, any kind of finger food, you can come. Yes, it's a one-stop shop.
Oh, wonderful. Have you ever considered, or have you ever taught anyone to bake?
I've been asked the question several times, but I never really got into it. A couple times, maybe a few cousins or so may ask me, and I don't have a problem doing that. But it's crossed my mind just over the last 2 years that I should give maybe classes to children. I find a lot of children, including my 10-year-old daughter, very much into the kitchen now. And the parent actually came up to me and asked me, what about doing a summer program for children? And it's a good idea. It's just that I will have to stop here for a while because that's going to take up a lot of time. So I'm looking into that. But to say teaching otherwise, like every day or maybe 3 days a week, I don't think I'll be able to do that. Because exactly.
Why bumblebee?
It's a funny little story. I'll keep it short and sweet.
Okay.
My sister, one of my sisters, she's very creative when it comes to doing little jingles and things like that. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to use the traditional Reese's cakes and pastries. I wanted something out of the ordinary. And I called her and I said, Kat, what can I do? I need a name, something that will catch people's attention. And she said, okay, give me 5 minutes. She called back and she said, Bumblebee. I said, Bumblebee, but why Bumblebee? She said, you do sweet treats, right? I said, yes. I said, okay, bumblebees produce honey. Honey is sweet, and that's what you do. So then the bumblebee came about and we decided to add delights to the end. So that's where the name came about. Yes.
So where can we find you?
I'm located at Sharpsdale. Not Sharps or Redemption Sharps, Sharpsdale, where they call in the plan area. So you can come up. I am, if you know where Ricky's rental is, I am just 2 gaps above Ricky on the left-hand side. And when you come in, it's the second house on your right. You can't miss it.
Okay, what about on social media?
I am on Facebook, Bumblebee Delights. There are 2 Facebook pages, but I specifically want people to go to the one with the yellow logo, Bumblebee Delights, right there. So you can always have a look and tell me what you like, because I've gotten a lot of orders just from the Facebook pages alone.
So that's doing pretty well. What about the number?
My number is 455-2908, that's my cell, and 456-1372, that's my home number.
Okay, so before we go, is there anything else you'd like for maybe the public to know?
Keep coming to Bumblebee Delights. I mean, I enjoy getting new customers, and I love baking. I really do. Ask me anything, I don't mind. I give people tips on how to store their cakes. I think it's something that people forget and they take it for granted, and you know, there may be complaints after that. So simple things like storing in the refrigerator and taking it out, you must take it out half an hour before. But I won't give you all the tips now, that would take a while. So just call Bumblebee Delights. Risha John, I'm willing, I'm here, always willing to help you.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
Risha, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear.
All
right.
Heads off to the National Insurance Service building in Kingstown to meet our next cake baker, Zoe Millington, owner of Cannon Cakes. Zoe, who has been baking most of her life, hopes to one day give back to her community of Sign Hill by teaching the youth there how to make treats as delicious as her own. So after you come from a long, exhausting 8 to 4, I'm guessing you're very tired and you go home and you have to bake cakes. How many cakes do you have to bake on maybe a given night?
Okay.
Weekdays or weekends?
It could range as much as from 1 to 10.
What?
Yes.
10. Well, our next cake baker is Zoe Millington of
Cannon Cakes, and welcome Zoe to WeFM's Top 5.
Good morning, thank you for having me.
We're here at Zoe's work, so when she's not baking cake, she's busy doing the country's work, right?
Yes. My name is Zoe Millington. I'm a social security worker by day and a baker by night. My first love. I'm the owner of Cannon Cakes. Says it all. My cakes blow people away. Well, that's what they say. Alright, I love baking. That's just the bottom line of it.
So how long have you been baking cakes?
Every time I've been asked that question, I've been taking myself back to 5, 6, 7, 8 in my grandma's kitchen, helping my aunt bake on every Saturday. We bake cakes, breads, sweet bread. So it became a part of me. And I grew up in the kitchen and I loved it, stuck to it, strayed a little bit because when you're growing up in school and everything, you're focusing on your book and not so much the artisan part of it. So I basically drew back to it in my early 20s.
Okay, so you've been baking basically all of your life.
Yes.
But how long has Cannon Cakes been a business?
Okay, I was registered officially in 2012. But before that, I've been baking for friends and family, and they say, hey, you know what? We love your stuff. Everyone who tried it loved it. Why don't you do it? So I was kind of hesitant at first, but I got the hang of it and developed it. Basically, it took some time, but let's say since 2012.
Okay, so you mentioned that you developed it. So did you go away and learn to bake, or is this a self-taught thing?
Basically a self-taught thing. I never went for any official training, but my uncle, his name is Ali Majed. He owns a bakery in Mustique. He teaches me, helps me a lot. So whenever I need my little training or help or any advice, I go down and say, let's go in the bakery. He showed me different techniques, how to do certain things, how long, what not to do, yeah. So it's a family.
It's a family
effort.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Can you tell the viewers some of the flavors that you have to offer?
I actually have 4 lines out right now. I have the cake line, cupcakes. I also do cheesecakes. I have different flavors of cheesecakes, and I just launched my cookie craze line.
Oh, cookie.
Yes.
Wow.
So I offer 4 different types of cookies.
All of them on the Cannon Cake.
All of them on the Cannon Cakes.
Okay.
Yes.
So where can we find you?
Okay, I don't have a storefront right now, but if you can locate me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's Cannon Cakes SPG or Cannon Cakes on Facebook.
And you deliver, so let's say I'm in Kingston or in Zion Hill or wherever, and I just have a sweet tooth and I want some cookies or cakes. How can I get that?
Yes, you hit us up on the business number is 455-1591 or 529-0225. You can contact us on WhatsApp as well. Just let us know what you want. We take orders up to 3 days in advance, and we do the free delivery in Kingston.
Is there anything else you would like to maybe tell our viewers?
It's all in the taste. You want to try anything you want, just say. We work around what you want, your idea, because a lot of persons come to me or they don't know exactly, they can't bring it out into words. So once you have a chat, sit down, just get the basics down, and we cater to all your needs, all your sweet tooth.
Okay, so that was Zoe Millington of Cannon Cakes. Remember, you can hit her up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The lone man in the group, Keith Williams, doesn't allow that to stop him. The self-taught cake baker, owner of impressive cakes, and Trigger Ridge resident, is passionate about baking, and it shows. His cakes are simply delicious. I'm here with Mr. Keith Williams, who hails from the village of Trigger Ridge. Keith Williams is from Impressive Cakes, and today we're going to be making... What are we going to be doing today, Keith?
We're going to do a cake depicting WeFM, called WeFM on Fire.
Okay, so I'm going to put my hair up so we don't get it in the way, and let's go. Alright, you've been making cakes.
Well, practically I could say from all my life, but I have started the business like about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
And you said it's a natural talent. So
Yeah.
you're self-taught, you didn't go to school
Yes.
to
No,
learn?
I didn't go to school to learn it. Because of my artistic ability and so on, and I love the baking, I just transfer it into the cakes.
Into the cake?
Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. And I'm sure these cakes taste as good as they look. I've seen your
Yes.
work on Facebook. Is there any other place we could find you, maybe some of your work?
Well, I have a few on YouTube, Impressive
wow.
Cakes. That's
Okay.
a few of the cakes them. But most of my work is on Facebook. That's
Okay.
mostly I get most of my business.
And we could find
Yeah.
you on Facebook under what? Just under your name, Keith Williams?
Keith H. Williams or Impressive Cakes.
Or Impressive Cakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've seen the work from Keith Williams,
Right.
and it's very great. I saw your Easter cake. That
Oh.
one was excellent.
Thank you, yes. That was,
Very excellent.
well, my goal is really to improve myself in this, because that's what I could offer my customers. Them better, maybe better tasting cake, better work, getting tools, getting stuff, getting better, maybe come up with more different type of recipes for cake recipes, because the natural person today will call you and ask you for either a red velvet or a chocolate cake or a plain cake.
Right.
Right? So
So those are the only cakes you make, or do you
I
have
have
different cakes?
I do other cakes, but is what people most likely want,
Okay.
right? What they're accustomed to.
Right.
So most people ask like for red velvet or thing, but I have a lot of different flavors and so
Like
on.
what?
There's a I like this. There's a coconut red velvet. Right, there's also a red velvet cream cheese cake. That is very nice. That's a very nice cake. You know, there's ginger
Ginger.
and ginger and coconut. I love nuts. Anything that is with nuts.
Okay, so you could make
Yeah, I love nuts. So anything that have nuts. There's a new cake, a cake that I did the other day. It was a Guinness cake. Right, made from the Guinness and so on. So that was a nice moist cake.
So you could only eat one slice of that cake.
No.
One slice.
No, because it does make much slice as possible, because it's not that.
I want to start maybe making cakes. I'm just starting out. I don't have any equipment. I don't have too much money. What are the absolute essentials? What should I get for sure in terms of tools?
Right.
Okay. This is for
This is for like putting the buttercream on the cake and smoothing the cake, especially buttercream, or if you're using royal icing.
Okay.
Right, you get a spatula. These tools are flower molding tools, making flowers and so on. Right, but if you're doing creative art cakes and so on, this is my master. This is what I use.
Okay.
This will do all the lines and frames and whatever. This is my main tool. Well, these are the basic tips I usually use. Just a writing tip.
okay.
Or you could use the star tip, right? Right, yeah, for decoration. When you're starting, you have to make sure you get tips. These are good for writing. There are a lot of different types. tips, but I really don't use those because I usually most of the time work with fondant.
Okay.
Right, so I don't really use these tips unless I'm going to do a border. I will use the star tip. Or if I'm working with buttercream, buttercream icing, then I will use the tips to work with.
Well, Keith, thank you so much
You're welcome.
for the WeFM fan cake. It's been a pleasure. And I wish you, don't worry, I wish you all the best going
Thank you.
forward.
If the name Amanda Van Loo, or more specifically Vincy Cake Girl, makes you say wow, then you know our final cake baker. Last but certainly not least, Van Loo is known for her cakes, also referred to as masterpieces or works of art. Whether she's making dragons, SpongeBob SquarePants, or a wedding cake, her attention to detail and artistic ability will surely leave you speechless. Van Loo can be contacted at 491-8955 or catch her on Facebook at Vincy Cake Girl. Here's some more of her work. Well, there you have it. WeFM's Top 5 Cake Edition. Stay tuned for our next episode, and remember, whatever you do, make it grand, because we just might be knocking at your door next. I am Crystal Bino Graves, reminding you to let your light shine as we try to make this beautiful country of ours the very best that it can be.